Good morning, folks. You're tuned into Car Connection, where the coffee's strong enough to resurrect a dead fuel pump. The stories are real, and the wrenches never stop turning. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you from the Car Connection workshop, where the smell of fresh oil, a little elbow grease is all part of a balanced breakfast. And around here, we don't just talk cars, we live them. Whether it's a 25-year-old Jeep Wrangler getting a second chance at life, or a Nissan Rogue getting its brakes back in order, or even a mystery leak that's got everyone scratching their heads. This is where we roll up our sleeves and get it done with a little wit, a little wisdom, and a whole lot of fun. The Car Connection isn't just about nuts, bolts, and diagnostics. It's about connection to our vehicles, to the people who drive them, to the community that keeps Niagara rolling. Because when you fix a car, you're not just turning a wrench. You're restoring someone's confidence, freedom, and maybe even their sanity. We're here every week helping you keep your ride safe, reliable, and ready for whatever road lies ahead. So whether you're a weekend wrencher, a daily commuter, or someone who just wants to understand what that strange rattle really means, welcome aboard. Stick around for shop talk, expert advice, a few good laughs, and maybe even a flashback service-based story. It's possible. It's Saturday. Well, welcome to the weekend, and welcome to Motormouth's Morning Drive. If it's your first time here, we welcome you aboard. There's all kinds of things for you to get involved with. Car Connection, we have our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, Stevensville on the web. Those are our social media platforms. We are found under the businesses tab on stevensvilleontheweb.ca. We are placed there as the automotive experts. It's okay. It's all right. That's where you'll find reels, bloopers, and outtakes. We also have, this is all in the top right-hand corner of our homepage. If you want to follow everything we do, everything we talk about lives on our website at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. That's all you got to remember. We keep it simple for you. Go to one place. Everything's there. Bing, bang, boom. So we have our merch store in the top right-hand corner. Everything you purchase in our merch store, all the purchases and the profits get turned back to Total Freedom Addiction Campuses Canada and USA, where every day there's a life change. So grab some gear and stand with our crew and know that we're working also to help another life change there each and every day. We also have our iHeart Radio icon there, but it's also a library of our podcasts. We have 248 podcasts for you to listen to if you're going to catch up. You know, just make it a binge weekend. Yeah, you might get there. You just might. All our podcasts load directly to our YouTube channel. So when this goes live at 8 a.m., Monday through Saturday, it loads automatically into our YouTube channel. So the homepage will get you there. Just look in the top right-hand corner. Everything is there for you to connect and watch and listen and engage with Car Connection. So come and join us. If you're in the drive-thru this morning and you're in that queue to get your morning goodies to head off to work, well, our thoughts and prayers are with you. It's weekend. And for all of those who do enjoy weekends, well, let's get started. We'll have a swiggy together in just one moment. We'll have weekend weather coming up as well. It is Q&A Saturday, so welcome aboard. We have a great program. Some amazing questions have come in again. And every Saturday for Q&A, I unpack 3 questions that I pull from the questions that come in by noon on Fun Fridays. So we'll be unpacking 3 questions from Allison, Diane, and Jean. Boy, they're amazing questions, too. All the questions are really, really good. Really good, because it's interesting to see how they kind of tie together. So tune in on Monday as we continue our fall vehicle maintenance one nugget at a time. So Monday we'll be talking about the importance of the radiator. Is it just there for giggles? Is it maintenance free? Really? Do you really think there's going to be a spring? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, radiators. We're going to be talking radiators on Monday, and you're going to want to stick around for that and visit our YouTube channel because I cut a perfectly good radiator in half with 189,000 miles on it. Just kidding. No, I did cut it in half. But no, it wasn't well and healthy. So you get an opportunity to see that and see the results. So that video has just gone live, I believe, as of yesterday, Friday, on our YouTube channel. So check that out. Top right-hand corner, again, of our homepage at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. That's where you'll find more episodes, project details, and links are all available at ccbusnet.com. You'll find everything on our homepage if you'd like to follow the build and repair work we do. I keep it simple, teaching you the 5 things of every component, what it is, where it is, how it works, how you broke it, and how we can teach you not to break it again, costing yourself unnecessary repairs and stress. Okay? So no matter how old you are, size, dimension, color, language, it doesn't matter. Our YouTube channel will teach you the basic fundamentals of vehicle ownership. That's it. You do not have to be a rocket scientist to tune in. I keep it super simple. The YouTube channel is to teach you the basic fundamentals. And it's that simple. And understanding even the work order, your RO, your repair order, that there should be 4 things covered for every item that you have on your repair order with your service advisor. The concern, what the problem, what's going on, the cause, getting to the diagnostic time, the concern, cause, correction, what needs to be replaced, serviced, or repaired, and then the road test, which confirms the repair. So concern, cause, correction, confirmation. All those things should be written down for each individual item that you've logged your vehicle in to have service, repair work, or maintenance. So we're going to talk about that in the near future and break it down again in bite-sized chunks so that you can learn. If you don't want to get ripped off at the service center, ladies, and it's mostly the ladies, you need to learn and teach them how to fill out a work order properly. Either work order, RO, repair order. Same darn thing. So we're going to cover that so that I can help you to prevent you from being taken advantage of. Because if the paperwork's done right, the gate is closed. The cows don't get out of the farm. But if you leave the gate open on the repair order, then the cows get out. All of them. Once one leaves, they all leave. That's how that works. So we need to make sure that when the repair order is filled out, the gate is closed. And you know what I'm referring to? The opportunity for them to take advantage of your bank account. Exactly. You mind if I have a little H2O this morning? I got the pasties. You ever have that? You wake up, you feel like your tongue is slapped flat on your forehead? No, just me? I think that's better. We got a little lubrication in there. I've been allergies this year. I haven't had allergies since I was like 12 years old. And I don't know what it is. Hacking? Like I got to put a muffler on my face or something. I don't know. Well, let's get into it this morning. Let's have our morning swiggy together. Brought to us by City Auto Sales and Leasing, Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store. You got Laurel and Elise. No, it's Earl and Louise Grant. Mr. and Mrs. Grant taking great care of you there with sales and leasing and in-house financing, providing you with low-mileage, quality vehicles at fair prices. And Earl is a car enthusiast. They don't. Over 25 years in business, they don't push, pull, drag any junk into their building or onto their lot. low mileage, quality vehicles at fair prices. So if you, your friends, your peeps at work are looking for a safe place to go and purchase a vehicle, I'll tell you, Louise will make it the best ever vehicle purchasing experience that you have ever had in your life. And I mean that. You can buy with confidence and be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity. They carry a decent inventory of pre-owned vehicles. If they don't have what you're looking for, you need to tug on Earl the car guy's jacket and say, Earl, I'm looking for this. What do you think? And if he comes back and he says, there's nothing out there that's good right now, let's kind of wait it out and see what comes up. Take his lead and let Earl the car guy save you thousands of steps. So thank City Auto Sales and Leasing for bringing this podcast to you this morning and our morning swiggy. We count it down on 3, 2, 1. And let's get at that into our gullet, all right? 3, 2, and 1. I think it needs just a little bit. I missed something this morning. I think I couldn't remember whether it was 2 teaspoons of fresh honey or 3. I'm going to say it's 3, and I know I did only 2. We're fighting cortisol. That's the stuff, apparently, that makes you look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Yeah. I just had to go and try pants on for an upcoming wedding. Disappointed. Yep. Discouraged. Yep. A little bigger than I was before. Yeah, it's tough. I'll be okay. I'm all right. Yeah. At least they didn't, make names, call me names or anything. They're like going, what size is your waist? I'm not telling you. You got to figure it out. They figured it out. They go, wow, you used to be a shut the front door. I said, hey, steady on. We're here to get pants, not to, beat me up too much. As you get older, this is what I heard recently. As you get older, your body shape changes. There you go. Can I control that? You know what I can control is maintenance, no matter how many miles are on a vehicle whatsoever. Yeah, I'll give you another report if I see my good friend, my brother from another mother, Steve, and find out what he's got on his 2010 Toyota 4Runner was 648,000 last week. I think I only put maybe 300 on the FJ this week, so that's not probably going to change things too much. I'm at 400,000. Yeah. And I'm still working on the 99 Rocket. I've got to just paint the front bumper now. I've got the thing running just sweet. I found a couple of things going on there, some serviceable items that I wasn't even aware of. And so I just learned a couple of things. And yes, makes a humongous difference. I'll share that with you later. All right, so let's get back into it and stay on track this morning because we have 3 questions to unpack. Don't forget that we have the new series coming up this week. Everything kicking off this week. New series, fall maintenance, 1 nugget at a time. That's what we're going to do. We're unpacking it 1 nugget at a time. So we've covered preventative maintenance when it comes to rust. So rust protection, we've covered that in its entirety. So if you missed that podcast, you're going to have to go back a few. We're officially at 249 at season 3 right now as of today. So you'll have to back up the bus into last week to pick that up and catch up with us. And then we walked into antifreeze after that, breaking that down into all the bits and pieces so that you completely understand it's not just antifreeze, folks. It isn't. It's not. It ain't just antifreeze. So coming up Monday, I'll be talking in detail. And as I mentioned a few moments ago, the video should be up for my dissecting a radiator, cross-flow radiator, so that you can see how a radiator works on the inside and how we can test what's called the flow test a radiator. So I decided to dissect it it was time for it to come out, and it's a vehicle that we're getting back out on the road, so we're doing all the basic maintenances and updates and upgrades. So you want to follow that series on the 92 Volkswagen Golf Cabriolet Carmen series from California. And, as I'm working on it, and I'll be under there this afternoon, pulling thermostat and the thermostat housing out so I can really give the cooling system a gush and flush. And if you want to see me take a bath on my last cooling system gush and flush, you have to go into our YouTube channel, and it's under the 1997 Jeep TJ Wrangler series. Yeah, I took a major bath. Skippy was laughing her head off behind the camera. And I didn't get mad or anything. It's happened to me before, but man, did I ever get soaked. I got a gush and flush myself. Well, today's forecast doesn't look too shabby. Possibly. Maybe. Could be. We don't know. Let's see if we can get an idea. Oh, I see something. I already see something I'm not liking right at the moment. Yep, here it is. The rainometer is going to get a workout today at 1.4 inches of RAIN. I checked the radar last night, and I thought, yeah, maybe that'll just kind of scoot around us and go northwest. But apparently not. Okay, here's what we got in the Niagara region, South Shores of Lake Erie. 1.4 inches of rain coming in. 65 degrees currently now and cloudy. Wind is making it feel cooler, about 62 degrees. Sunny conditions from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. today, with rain expected somewhere around 6. So it's going to be the lawn grass cutting nationals this morning. Somebody dropped the green flag. We'll get Henry out there and just buzz that grass off as quick as we can. Today's temperature range will be 63 to 81, but it's going to feel more like 61 to 82. Let's take a look at it. It is weekend. So let's see what we've got for Sunday. Fun day. Family day. Yeah, we're not batting a good average this morning. On the rainometer, 1.1 inches for Sunday. In the Niagara region, Sunday's low will be 60 degrees after 11 p.m. And the high will be 71 degrees between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Temperature range will feel more like 56 to 65. That's a chill factor. Wind will make it feel cooler than the actual temperature. So looking for both days, you might want to take your Nelly with you and prepare. Because it's better to prepare than not to prepare. Exactly. So thank you to our certified financial planners, Tony Miele, Larry Tetro, 50 years experience as fiduciaries for making that possible. Our weather report today and this podcast. They're with IG Wealth Management. And folks, here's the deal. You need to get the information when it comes to finances from those who have the fruit on the tree. Certified financial planning professionals understand the tax model and all the implications there. It's not a matter of how much you make, it's how much you get to keep. So working with an advisor is not working with a certified financial planner whatsoever. They know and understand tax planning and the 6 pillars to a financial plan. If you're working with an advisor, you're only getting an apprentice. No disrespect, but that's the way the pecking order is. CFPs understand investment portfolios, making sure that your money is invested appropriately, low risk, medium risk. Some people don't mind having high risk. If I lose $1.99, I'm tripping you getting to the driveway to find it. That's me. So it's low risk, medium risk is fine. Debt retirement, if you're carrying a lot of debt and you're arguing, ladies and gentlemen, intense moments of fellowship, please, please, please stop and get an hour and a coffee with either Tony or Larry. And leave your money at home. They're not going to ask you for anything. So that's what we call the discovery meeting. It's 1 hour by phone, by Zoom, in the boardroom, at your home, a coffee shop, in a box with a fox, whatever works that you're comfortable with. They'll talk about proper estate planning. If If you've got 18-year-olds at home, are you their health proxy? That's what we got to know, because if you're not, you cannot direct the physicians for treatment. You cannot. So if you're in the heat of the moment, it doesn't matter how loud you scream, pound your fists on the floor, say, I'm his mother. It doesn't matter. You've got to be their health proxy, period. That's the law. And in the heat of the moment, you can't fix that. No, you can't. You cannot fix it in the heat of the moment. So insurance, life insurance, critical illness insurance, these are things we can't plug in when you're in the heat of the moment, friends. And it's like car insurance. Yeah, don't get me going on that one. Insurance may seem like an expense until you need it. It's a very wise investment. So connect with Tony Miele or Larry Tetro. You'll find them on the homepage of our website. Click on their link and connect and let them know that Car Connection sent you. Thank you to Kathy, Dave, and Dan Grimo at Niagara Block, 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls, for making this podcast and our YouTube channel possible. They've been building Canada since 1931. Do you think we should give them a lunch break? What are you thinking? Could we give them an extra 5 minutes today? Because they're busy there. They're all the building supplies you need to create that foundation for that extension you're putting on your home, or adding a room, or upgrading, or maybe building a man cave workshop. You're going to need some blocks. They make them fresh every day. They come out of the hot, steaming oven, and they're well baked. And they make them in all kinds of colors and designs as well. So if you're wanting designer cinder blocks, these are your people. These are your peeps. If you need rebar, angle iron, they have all that as well to help you with the foundation. And hardscape landscaping materials to help beautify your property and your homestead, and also perhaps make that backyard space you've always wanted, your personal oasis. And I'll tell you, it's worth it. I have one here. It's not glamorous. It's, can sit in a few different locations. It's just nice to be able to have that option to just move around as the sun moves around, or the shade, and just sit and relax and have some white space. So if you need a contractor, you need to connect with Kathy Grimo. She has a list of peeps, contractors that you can count on to estimate, design, and get the project started and get it finished. All right, let's jump into our questions this morning, because these are really good. I mean, we've had some amazing questions from you ladies out there, and I don't know where the fellas are. Yeah. I think I heard a song with that in there. Is it fellas or is it lions? Let me know. Send me an email. Is it I wonder where the fellas are, or is I wonder where the lions are? Is that correct? I'm not sure. I'm just having another swiggy. It is Saturday. It's weekend. It's the weekend. I got to get mechanicals done so we're ready to shoot more videos on Monday morning. Bright and early, 7 o'clock. Skippy's here, and we are locked and loaded and shooting videos. Allison writes in and says, and for all you grammatical people, that's an error there. You can't live with that error. We got to fix that. Well, I read them as I get them, so that it's not me, it's them. Just so as you know. And I'm not giving you their phone number so you can call and say, you made a grammatical error. Who cares? In the vastness of eternity, it really doesn't matter, friends. She says, Allison kicks in with some nice, kind words. Love your show and YouTube channel. Thank you. No, thank you, Allison. We really appreciate that, Skippy and I, because we put in about 80-plus hours a week to make it all happen for you. So don't worry, I've got a call to action at the end of the program I'll share with you. Because we have not, because we ask not. There's things we need, Skippy and I need for you to do for us so that we can do for you what you can't do for yourself. Exactly. It's a team effort. So she's asking, my service light is on again for the third time now. Oxygen sensors changed, of course. Absolutely. Did you get a gas cap? Seems to be the combo. Same issue seems to be coming up. What's next? Help. That's a great question. Help! Ah! Spider! How many of you are afraid of spiders? Put that in my email. Motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. I got to take some out. Living close to the water's edge, we get them all, man. The black, fast, creepy, crawly guys, big bum spiders, we get them all. And it's time to take some out. It's like, now, fall's coming. You're not scooting in here, buddy. Take it for the team. When it gets cold, well, that's you. That's you being you. So where do we go from here? Third time, service lights on, oxygen sensors are changed, and now it says same issue, what's next? So I'm assuming, and I don't like to do that, but I don't have the car here, friends, and that's all I've got to go on. So I'm going to say originally somebody must have thought it needed oxygen sensors, so they swapped them out, and now we've got the same deal still coming back. So there must be, here's what I'm thinking. There must be a catalytic converter that is out of range. That's what I'm thinking. And so how do we determine that? Well, we need to do a catalytic converter efficiency test. That's what we need to do. So I'll use my own vehicle as an example. It has 4. I know. If 2 isn't fun enough, they put 4 on it. 4 catalytic converters, not Cadillac converters, friends. You can call them cats if you want, for short. They're catalytic converters. It's because of the metals inside. Platinum is in there, rhodium, and a bunch of other stuff, and some honeycomb. And there's no bees in there. And it's the reaction of the exhaust with the dissimilar metals that converts it from NOx emissions to CO2s and O2s or something like that. It gets way too medical, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, so in other words, what does the catalytic converter do? Converts nasty exhaust gases into friendly exhaust gases. That's exactly what it does. So the oxygen sensors are reading, they're like noses. If you think of a big hairy nose, maybe not. That was a visual. Oxygen sensors like noses, that's what they are. So on my truck we have 4 noses in there doing this. Okay, and then sending that information to the computer so it can analyze and materialize and energize the exhaust air fuel mixture ratios so that we have clean exhaust coming out the tailpipe. If any one of so there's 4 catalytic converters on my 07 FJ Cruiser, and that's 4 times, way too many times, 4 times too much fun, and 4 catalytic converters. So there's 4 sniffs, upstream and downstream. So before the catalytic converters, a big sniff, and then after the catalytic converters, another one. And then the computer compares those 2 readings and goes, yeah, one of your fellas isn't working right. What? Oxygen sensor or catalytic converter? We have a catalytic converter that is sucking right now and not working to its ultimate. It's not performing well. So that's what we have to check. So if this is 3rd time service light, and it's still related to the emissions system on the automobile, we need to know how many catalytic converters, which ones are upstream, which ones are downstream, and determine which bank is the issue. Is it the driver's side catalytic converters, or is it the passenger side? So we got to do a little bit of homework as service techs and then go, okay, the culprit's on bank 1, and it's catalytic converter number 1. So that is the forward. So that's what we call, there's pre and post. So before and after. So the exhaust coming right out of the motor, right into the first catalytic converter is generally the one we really need to pay attention to. Then there's the post. That is the final catalytic converter before all the exhaust heads to the tailpipe. So what we really need to do here if you really, really, really want to nail it, we need to do a catalytic efficiency test on both banks. So if there's bank 1 and bank 2, depends on your engine size. In my vehicle, it's a V6 4-liter. It's got bank 1 and bank 2. So that means there's 3 cylinders on one side and 2 catalytic converters. And on the passenger side, same Don tank, same setup. So if you want to nail it, because it's easy to make a boo-boo and end up changing an expensive catalytic converter on the wrong side, and then you're going to have the service light for the 4th time. Yeah, cat efficiency problem. It should come up on the screen on the analyzer. Cat efficiency problem. Yeah, too low. It may say catalytic efficiency too low, but it's not saying which one. You see what I'm saying? So just doing a ticker tape parade with a little handheld scooter reader plug that you got from, the Amazon website doesn't give you the answer. And I can tell you that because I have an OTC, just a quick reader. And when my service light kept coming on this 07 FJ, it was cat efficiency too low. Yeah. Cylinder 1, bank 1. Turns out they're all pretty much coming to the end of their age. So it is what it is. 400,000 K. They're not efficient all the time. So we have to make some changes. It's only going to be about $1,500. Help. buymeacoffee.com/Motormouth Nile. That'll be helpful. That would be helpful. A donation. Yeah, we're getting down to the point for myself where the downstream catalytic converters are starting to sleep, but the upstreams are still good. So we can cut those out. And according to my exhaust fab master, Jesse, he says, we changed the exhaust manifolds, but they'll come with brand new catalytic converters on them that suck. So we'll cut those out. And we'll use your factory upstream. And see, this is what goes on. When cat efficiency drops, you're going to get that same code. You can swap out the oxygen sensors all day long, but unless we do a cat efficiency test, we don't know which ones are going to sleep. So you're better off to test them all so that you know which ones are working properly and which ones are starting to come apart inside. And they're not working properly. So that's why I use my truck as an example. 400,000 K. It does still set a code periodically, and it's a cat efficiency too low. So Jesse said, run it until you got your money together, and then we know what we got to do. He says we're going to have to take the exhaust manifolds are rusting and heavily, but they've been on their 400,000 K. So he said, we've got a game plan. We'll save your upstream cats and weld those to the new manifolds because they work better than the aftermarket ones. He said the aftermarket cats. See, this is where you got to work with guys that know what the stink they're doing. He said, if you buy them, you can get a great deal on them on Amazon, but the catalytic converters that are attached to them are junk. So we want to cut those out and then cut your factory ones out, because they're amazingly good, and weld those in, and then put 2 new cats after that, the downstream, and that'll solve all the problems. There you go. So, Allison, we need someone that knows how to do a cat efficiency test to each catalytic converter, whether it's upstream or downstream, and we need to find out for sure which catalytic converter is not up to snuff, because you're going to keep setting that service light for an emissions code till the cows come out because somebody left the gate open. Yeah. So I hope that helps you out, but that's what we need. We need a team that can do a catalytic converter efficiency test. Okay. Next question. Whoa. I had to shake that off a little bit. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. We're looking at about $1,500 to update the 07 FJ Cruiser, and then the exhaust system will be top drawer because it still does set a code. It's on right now, actually. I'm going to dump it this morning at some point because it looks like a freaking Christmas tree when all the lights come on. So one of the catalytic converters was winking, blinking, and nodding, and that's it. Boom, there goes the service light, and I know it will be cat efficiency too low. And it'll be the same bank. I believe it's bank 2. But I could sit corrected. All right, next question. That was a great one, Allison. I hope that helps you out. Keep us in the loop. And all those that write in a question and that we utilize that, have a special parting gift for you from the Car Connection Motormouth Morning Drive. So hang in there. Diane's question. Here we go. Enjoy your programs. Thank you. You're welcome, Diane. And Allison, thank you to you as well. Appreciate that. I've heard you talk about it before, but wanted to ask myself. Proceed to look after my older car 10 years or move on and replace it. So from that, I gather it's 10 years old. She's kind of in that position. Do I get rid of it because of its age? I'm assuming that's what she's thinking, because she hasn't mentioned anything about a big recipe or a grocery list of things that have gone wrong, and there's no service light on. So it's got to be running pretty decent based on what I'm reading. So here's the drill. Well, it's only 10 years old. Man, that's almost brand new for me. That'd be like watching E.T., which I've never seen before. That'd be a new release for me. Absolutely would. 100%. Because I've never seen it. Same with Toy Story. Never seen it. And now I just heard Toy Story 5. What? Yeah, I'm a little behind on that. So 10 years old is not too shabby whatsoever. I mean, 2007, that's a few bananas old. If we said it was 2027 right now, that would make it what? 20 years old. And then the 99 Honda Civic DX, 2-door hatchback, 5-speed air conditioning, puppy. Man, that thing runs on farts in a jar, I got to tell you. Sometimes I got to tap the fuel gauge and go, hello, is this correct? You sure? Maybe I should go and top it up. It's good to have those gas misers around. Let me tell you that, are not super high tech. And I'll tell you, the Gen Zers, they're going to throw a paradigm shift into manufacturing like you've never seen before. It's coming. It's coming. They're on the right track. In fact, a Gen Zer yesterday, and I appreciate you guys and gals because you're watching. You're the watchmen. No pun intended. I'm going through the drive-thru, and the young chap, he's a Gen Zer. He goes, wow, I really like your watch. I go, yeah, it's 1959. I said, I picked it up in a little place called Bancroft, Ontario, at an old clock shop. I said, and I got it at a reasonable price, and it's automatic. It automatically winds. He goes, oh, man, those are so cool. I go, yeah, I'm not into the digitalis thing. You know what? I got my phone. Skippy and I are doing camera. I said, we're doing camera stuff and laptops. I like analog. Me too. We'll park that right there. So 10 years old. Diane, here's my thing. If the vehicle is got a strong, solid foundation, that means the undercarriage. We need to know the condition of the undercarriage first before I would be able to answer that question for you 100%. So if Diane brought me that car, it's the first thing I'm going to do for her is let's get it on the lift. Let's have a good look underneath. Let's assess the vehicle for the rusties and determine is it deeply enveloped in rust under there, or do we just have some dry spots? And a rust proofing protection application, full application, would see that vehicle another 10 years. Now, you can't it's not one and done. So if you haven't listened to that podcast, it came out earlier last week. So it would be somewhere around, where are we at today? 249. So somewhere around 243, 244, episode 244. So you can find it rust proofing. It is an annual sport. So if you want to keep a vehicle long term, we need a solid foundation. Makes sense, right? You know, if you're buying a house, do you want to buy a house that the cinder blocks are disintegrating and water's coming in from somebody somewhere and, you know, frogs and snakes are getting in there? Would that be appealing? You know, if you're going fishing for muskie or something, the frogs might be helpful, but the snakes, no crawly things. So you'd say, you know, this house has a very weak foundation. We'll move on and leave you with your snakes and frogs. And I'm saying that because that happened. Went to look at a house, and there's like a foot of water in the basement, and the washer and dryer up on cinder blocks. What does that tell you? Yeah, red light. We have a code entry alert. Yeah, and there's frogs and snakes swimming in the water. And my agent goes, have you seen enough? Yeah. You ready to go? Uh-huh. Now? Yep. Bye. See you outside. Just tell them, you know, bon voyage. Yeah, we'll get back to you. Yeah, the term. We'll circle back. Never. Yeah, so if the foundation is solid, and I don't see any places where I could take a screwdriver and meet the carpet anywhere, or the subframe is healthy and everything's okay, then you know what? I'm definitely not going to say the car's junk. No. You got a solid foundation. So we need to continue with that, right? Exactly. So would rust proofing protect it for the next X number of years? If my answer is yes, then you know what? You move forward. You don't need to get rid of it. If the vehicle needs a ton of mechanicals done and the underbody is questionable, then that's when you really got to have a serious look at it, because once the underbody is showing areas of weight loss, then it's time. You know, and that's where I'd say next big thing that goes wrong with it, you really may want to at that time say, you know what, okay, goodbye. Yeah, that's what you want to do at that point. However, if the opposite is true, the structure, the foundation is solid, the mechanicals are up to date, the car's performing well. Remember what I tell you, mileage doesn't mean anything, maintenance does. If you're not very good with maintenance, then it doesn't matter which car it is. You know, by the time you finish making the last payment on the one you're in, there won't be anything left but the steering wheel and maybe part of the bucket seat on the driver's side. Maybe. Unless the foam and the fabric's all blown out. Yeah. Guys, don't put your wallet in your back pocket. First of all, it looks really stupid. I'm just saying, it looks like you have a growth. You know, I spent a little bit of time in a shopping mall this past week, and I was waiting for somebody, and I'm watching the traffic, the human traffic, and I'm like going, man, people really should check your look before you come out. And guys, get rid of the brick in your pocket for Pete's sake. Get a fanny pack or something. It looks stupid, but that's what blows out the driver's seat, just so you know. And blue jeans with the rivets on. Completely destroys leather seats, fabric, it doesn't matter what it is. And here's the other trick. I don't know how I got on this, but I'm going to give you a super duper interior tech tip. Okay, you ready? Before you get out of the vehicle, roll the seat all the way back, would you? Yeah. Roll it all the way back so you can get out. You're not squeezing yourself in, squeezing yourself out, popping like a zit as the door's opening. Yeah. That's what wrecks and blows out the side of the seats. You want to know how that happens? That's how that happens. And an older guy that did upholstery all his life, who was an amazing craftsman, said to me, take a moment and just learn how to roll the seat back. And guess what? You can just roll it forward when you get in. You'll never blow out a driver's seat ever. Ever. He said, save yourself thousands of dollars. That's all it takes. If you watch me get in and out of a car, you will see me do the same thing every single day. It's called maintenance. Roll the seat back, open the door, step out. All right? There's a really big one for you there. I just saved you thousands in an ugly driver's seat. So, Diane, we're coming out of the rabbit hole, sister. Hang on. So, it's 10 years. I've looked it over. Underneath, the structural integrity is top drawer. There's some dry spots, but nothing that, getting started with a rust-proofing treatment and continuing with it, it's going to get you another 10, 12 years out of that vehicle. If mechanicals are all done and up to date, and if maybe they're not, there's some stuff that needs to be done, just like the vehicle that we've got in the staging lanes for our YouTube series coming up, the 92 Volkswagen Golf Cabriolet Carmen from California needs upgrades. I bought it in 2008. You'll have to see watch the rest of the backstory, and I haven't touched it since. Just brought it out. But I did keep a close eye on it and made sure that, the mice didn't get in there, and they did not. They don't like the bounce sheets. Yeah, somebody online, I could fact check them all day. I've been storing vehicles, boats, and stuff for 35 years with the real true deal, bounce sheets. The mice don't like them. But if you buy the dollar store off-brand ones, they suck. The mice go, really? Really, guy? Yeah, we got you. We got you, brother. Yeah, and they're in there. They're in your car. And they hold their smell. In fact, we proved that on a video this past week because I took some bounce sheets out of the back of the Golf that I put there, and I said asked Skippy, I said, would you give them the sniff test right on camera? And she did. She goes, no, these are still really good. Have they been in there that long? I go, yep, since 2008. Well, that blows that theory out that the smell goes away. She goes, you could probably put those in the dryer. I said, you want me to bag them up and give them to you? She goes, yeah, I'll take them home. I'll give those things a ride in the dryer. They're expensive. So everything else is, I say all that to say this, Diane. If the vehicle's solid underneath, start the rust proofing immediately and continue it. No further out than 18 months. So your first application now, the next application, if you got to push it out, don't go beyond 18 months for the next application. If all the mechanicals are pretty decent, you've got some little stuff to take care of, you know what? You've got the best car in the driveway right now, Diane. The best one in the driveway. It's probably paid for. I would assume to say it's paid for. And you know what? It's 10 years younger than what I'm driving. Just saying. And I'm not going anywhere with the 07. No siree. That thing has been an absolute champ. As my friend Steve would say, his parents taught him, buy quality, take care of it. It's that simple. Great question, Diane. So I hope that helps you a lot. And we do have that. If you watch this series on the 92 Cabrio coming up, we're just getting into it. And I'm into the cooling system first. And I did a podcast earlier this week. And I left you with a couple of questions actually yesterday with regards to cooling system. We'll see who gets it right on Monday. Okay, Gene's got question number 3 today. Hanging on to that one. I need a little more water. Might have been the bacon yesterday. Butcher shop bacon. Cut nice and thick. Yeah. That is the stuff. And it's not soaked in salt brine either. Maybe it's I don't know. Could be the smoke. I don't know. Anyways, I'm super thirsty today. Anyways, Gene's question number 3. Enjoying your podcast. Thank you. No, thank you, Gene and Diane and Allison, for taking the time to spinning off an email to me and asking a question. Appreciate that. Because your questions can help somebody somewhere else on this big blueberry that we're spinning on. My brakes are noisy, she says. How often should they be looked at? It is a simple question, but it's also a complicated question, all at the same time. You know, I hear vehicles go past me when I'm outside here at the studio, We got the bay door open, and I hear scraping and chuffing and stuff. And I'm thinking, how can you not hear that? Well, as my music teacher would say, if you can't play good, play loud. Yeah. Well, if the radio's up too loud, I guess, that would probably be the issue right there, would it not? Yeah, you can't hear what's going on. Best thing you can do sometimes is just let a stranger, not a total stranger, so the car doesn't come back. Let someone else take your car for a road test. And you'd be surprised when they come back to say, how long have you had that noise? Why do you constantly got to be correcting the steering wheel? And what's up with when they press the brake pedal? It feels like, you're getting a massage. Yeah, that's how you can really find stuff. Because what happens is we get so used to the vehicle, and some of these symptoms creep up without even really batting an eyelash. And so when you let somebody else drive your car, they go, wow, what a bag of hammers. Here's the keys. Man, I'm lucky to be alive. I'm going to kiss the ground. Yeah. Whoa, you drive that every day? Egads, man. Exactly. So we don't want to be that. So brakes. You're not going to like me, but you know what? You'll love me later. I get a lot of mileage out of brakes unless something fails. And the reason being is every 4 months, they're getting fully serviced. That means wheels off, calipers off, brake pads out, hardware off, clean everything, re-lubricate, reinstall, and down the road you go. You say, well, that costs money. Yeah, well, let me tell you about, if Skippy were here, she'd say, yeah, let us tell you and show you the Brake Nationals. We started off summer 2026. It was brake job after brake job after brake job, and there was nothing salvageable on any of the vehicles I was working on. Yeah, you got your money's worth. If that's your thought pattern, that is not a good picture for you, because that's taking a lot of money out of your pocket that you don't need to. So the hour that it takes to service the brakes comes back to you more than tenfold. Because this is the deal. You don't just do a brake job and then I'll see you when it falls apart next time. Because that's what most of you are doing. And then when I get in there, you need it all again. There's nothing savable. So you're putting big bucks out all the time for brake jobs. They need servicing. They're a serviceable item. Every bus, every truck that's running up and down the highway, how would you feel if I told you that they run their brakes just like you do? Would you spend time beside a truck or behind a truck that could flatten you like a bug in a heartbeat with you in the car? Yeah, and you're not going to live to tell about it. You'd probably be pretty paranoid, wouldn't you? That these big riggers carrying all that weight, well, they don't do brake jobs until they fail. Just like you guys. It'd be a different planet, wouldn't it? It sure would on the news. There'd be some serious accidents going on and fatalities. They have to have brakes serviced all the time. Because, when you're buzzing around them, you four-wheelers, that's what they call us, you four-wheelers, they only have 2 really solid brake applications before they squash you like a bug. How many of you know that? Yeah, that's why I have my truck license for repair and servicing. I work for Mack Trucks of Canada in Peterborough, Ontario, and have my diesel endorsement. I'm telling you the truth. You don't realize, if they don't service their brakes, you're a dead man. It's that simple. With a truck, 18-wheeler, all the brakes are serviced and all the slack adjusters are all adjusted properly so that they have really good solid brake applications. They really only have 2 really solid brake applications, and then the compressor's got to try and pump up the system again quickly so that they can get a third if possible. So they need a lot of space to stop. So I'm telling you that because why would you treat your car any different? I'm not sure why. But many of you are part of the brake nationals. You do a brake job, you pay the man out the door, and you don't take it back until you burn them out again, or until you hear scraping and grunching and groaning and grunting coming from the wheels, or you get shake and brake. When you're applying the brakes, you're practically taking the fillings right out of your head and any implants you got. Yeah, it's called shake and brake. That's from lack of maintenance. And what that generally tells me in most cases, half of your brake system's not working. And it's usually the back half, because then the front half is doing 80% of the braking instead of 60% of the braking. So brakes are designed for the rear of the vehicle, for the brakes to start coming on first, so it holds the vehicle back. And then your front brakes kick in as you apply harder, and then the vehicle stabilizes. But if you're coming to a stoplight and you're putting the brakes on and the car is bowing, the front of the car is going down, then that tells you right then and there the rear brakes are not working right. The front brakes are doing all of it. The rear brakes are there just for giggles. So they're not working. So that's how you can do your very own diag. So next time you're racing somebody to the next traffic light so you can hammer on the brakes, which most of you are doing, and the nose of the car starts bowing, you know your rear brakes aren't working right. That's a simple test. Brakes need to be serviced every 4 months, friends. If you want to save money and put more money back in your pocket, you don't do a brake job and see you whenever, fella. Because that's what most of you are doing. You're costing yourself an arm and leg when it comes to brakes. They are working hard every time you drive that vehicle. And for some, they're working flubdipple overtime. I see the way you're driving out there. You're costing yourself so much money in wear and tear, I can't even imagine it. As my father would say growing up, when he'd see one of my friends doing a smoky burnout, he'd say, that's someone who's got more money than brains. Don't be that person. You know, if you play hard, you're going to pay hard. It's that simple. Cars are machines, and you're using those brakes heavy duty, a lot of you every single day. I don't know how you can go until the next brake job not having a service and not knowing 100% that your brakes could get you out of a jam if somebody should pull what I call a maroon maneuver in front of you, and you've got to avoid being a part of their nightmare. That's what it's all about. So, Gene, great question. Every 4 months is the answer. Wheels off, full brake evaluation, clean, service, relubricate, reinstall, torque the wheels on, down the road you go. We'll see you in another 4 months. That's how you save money. That's how you have a safe vehicle with equal braking on all 4 brakes all the way around the vehicle every single day. 4 months, full brake service. Won't break the bank, but running it right to the very end is costing you all a fortune in extra parts. Because when we get into it, nothing's, I can tell you, and you can watch the videos on our YouTube channel. Last summer, holy smokes, Skippy would tell you if she was here. The brake systems that we got into last summer, it was one after the other, and every single one was absolutely ugly. Ugly. So go and watch those, and that'll show you this is what's costing you, all of you, a lot of money. You're burning your brakes out, you're taking them to the max, and then you pay to the max. Because I look at them and I just go, it's no problem. We just got to order everything new. Oh, nothing savable? Nope. It's all done. You got your money's worth. Now you get to pay again. You get to play again and pay again. It's kind of like roll up to the rim to win. You know, it says, congratulations, you've won an opportunity to pay again. All right, till Monday morning, have yourself a fantastic weekend. If you're in the Niagara region, expect some RAIN to move in on you, so make sure you got your Nelly with you. And we'll see you bright and early Monday morning, 8 a.m. for another Motormouth Morning Drive. Thanks to the ladies making our Saturday Q&A possible. Allison, Diane, and Jean will send you off a nice Car Connection maintenance schedule for taking the time to send a question in. Appreciate it very much. Drive safe. Keep it under 100. Happy, healthy motoring, friends. Peace, patience, and kindness to everyone, always. And we'll see you Monday morning at 8 a.m. Bye for now.